Throw it on Henry's shoes.
1, 2, 3.
You know, him and Thurman are actually good friends.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So he's over here.
Yep. And then we don't want to risk having a minor even get on the floor for any reason ever, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Tragically, but it's
Legally, you can do 30 or 35 right in front of that door.
they're already on tour, so I looked at the playlist and I was like, oh, okay, this would be good.
$4 million expansion on top of our $35 million expansion that we had just a few years ago. We had added a hotel in the meantime, and we're looking forward to finishing this project and then moving on from there.
And the funding comes from?
The funding comes from a capital awards project fund, which comes out of the prize money earned every month here at Batavia Downs.
Talk a little bit about what this expansion means here and what people will see, the changes that are coming.
What it means is an improved facility for our restaurants, both the look and the size of the restaurants. Our quality of food is excellent right now. It's going to get even better. A cigar lounge, which is an interesting concept, which we've had a lot of requests from our people. What we like to be known for is listening to our customers. What do they want? What do they want to see here? So it'll be a safe place for those who want to engage in that type of activity. Will be able to go and enjoy themselves. There'll be gaming devices within the room. Also, our banquet facilities, our paddock room, which right now is our banquet facilities, will be expanded so that we can do a better job with the weddings and the catering events and the reunions and the parties, corporate events, and also our kitchens and coolers, the whole process. Again, we aim to provide excellent customer service here, and that's what we're going to do.
Job creation with this expansion, what are we talking for people working in?
Well, certainly job retention. We have 500 employees here. We do intend to add a few, probably 10 to a dozen. But what it does is allows us to be competitive. It's an extremely competitive environment right now. A lot of people say that there are plenty of casino structures within the industry, a lot, especially here in Western New York. We've been very competitive. We've done an excellent job. Our staff is great, second to none, our employees. And this allows us, again, to remain competitive, maintain the jobs that we have, and create some more. But one of the most important things we do is return money to the member communities. We're the only municipally owned casino facility in New York State. And every month by law, we have to return our profits, every quarter, so every 3 months by law, we have to return our profits to our 15 counties and our 2 cities within Western New York. And we're very proud of the work that we do and what we're able to contribute to our communities.
And you mentioned sports betting. Is that something you're still working on? Somebody mentioned it. They still would like to see sports betting.
Yes,
talk a little bit.
Yes, we're very active relative to sports betting here in New York. And the truth is, it's not whether you're for or against it anymore. It's here. Sports betting is here in Western New York and in New York State. Right now, it's limited to the 4 commercial casinos, but pending regulations by the New York State Gaming Commission and pending legislation that is actually currently in front of the New York State legislature and the governor, everyone anticipates that they will have sports betting sometime early 2019.
Completion date?
Can I follow up on that?
Yep, sure.
So really quick, doing this expansion, is this in anticipation of you actually getting sports betting?
It is in anticipation of it. We will have a further expansion once it is actually enacted into law, but this is in anticipation, yes, of sports betting coming here. Again, we believe it's not when, it's not if, I should say, it is when and at what time frame, because right now it is allowed in the 4 commercial casinos pending the regulations, but we anticipate it being allowed at all the facilities and a further expansion because it's in demand here in New York State.
And again, this December for completion here?
This December for completion of this initial project, and we'll come back to the drawing board with some more plans. This one's been in the making for between a year and a half, and we'll come back to the drawing board sometime next year with some further plans.
So when you do these expansions like you have in the past, is this something that you're getting from people who come here on a daily basis that they're telling you they'd like to see these things? Is that how you come up with the ideas?
That is correct. For instance, the Fortune's restaurant. Again, we're expanding it. We're going to have glass on the outside of the structure so people can watch the races that happen as they're sitting outside enjoying themselves. We needed more space, frankly, for that. We need more space for our banquet facilities. We do have to take these projects to the New York State Gaming Commission. They have to be approved by the Gaming Commission so that they make financial sense, and obviously they do, and that's good news for us. My name is Henry Wojtaszek. I'm the President and CEO of Batavia Downs. And we are very, very excited to break ground today on a $4 million expansion project. This has been a long time coming, and as you can see, they've started digging the hole back here, and we hope to actually have it completed on time by the end of December. It's going to be a great project. Coming off some other recent renovations that we have here, our parking lot, our race paddock, our events room in there, construction of the racetrack party deck. Batavia Downs' new expansion features a new cigar lounge, additions to our Great Fortunes restaurant. It includes a new banquet area and bar, as well as the addition of kitchen space and more efficiently be able to serve our 34 Rush customers, and more improvements to our banquet facilities here, which we have been engaging in many, many more events here. The expansion project will offer a number of new amenities for our customers. We're excited about that. That in turn will increase our revenue, which, as you know, is the most important matter here, because it allows us the ability to make more contributions to our surrounding communities. That's what Batavia Downs does. That's our mission. That's our charge, is to send any profits that we have, we send back to our communities. We hope we can continue expanding our facility in the future to better serve those customers here in Western New York. And I hope, and we all hope here, soon, very soon, that we will also have the opportunity to provide sports betting to all the dedicated sports fans here in Western New York. So again, we can provide that critical funding for community development, which creates jobs, protects families, and helps offset tax increases within our community. So thanks again. I'd like to now turn it over to a couple of our featured speakers here for a couple words. First up is going to be Senator Mike Ranzenhofer, who is the senator here for Batavia. Senator Ranzenhofer, Mike Ranzenhofer.
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure and my honor to join Henry and Mike and his team, all the associates here. You all do really a wonderful job. If you think back, oh gosh, maybe 15 or 20 years ago and can remember what this facility was like, what it is today is really a dream come true. And to work with my colleagues, Assemblyman Hawley and Senator Ort, to be able to really build up this facility. It's great for the community. It makes it competitive with some of the other casinos and racinos in the area. And that's what we have to do, is to make sure that this is a very, very viable and very exciting for people to want to visit and to want to stay. I mean, what they've done from the announcement that we're making today about this $4 million project, but also, you know, just simple things like paving the parking lot and adding a hotel, really makes it a jewel among the other racinos across the state of New York. And as Henry said, you know, one of the reasons why this is so important is that funds from gaming, which is what we're talking about, are plowed right back into the community to help our local communities, to keep the tax rate lower, so you're not relying on the property taxes exclusively, but we're sending money back into the community. So it's an honor for me to be here today. It's an honor at any time to be in the presence of a Hall of Famer, Thurman Thomas, and turn it back over to Henry. And again, thanks for including me in today's ceremony. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much. And now Senator Rob Orr from one of our member communities from Niagara County. Senator Rob Orr.
Well, thank you, Henry. Great to be here. I tell you what, and first things first, I don't know, and I wouldn't want to be the person who was responsible for putting up all those signs behind us because they kept falling down. So whoever that person is, God bless you, and don't raise your hand or identify yourself, right? So, but great to be here. As my colleague Mike Ranzenhofer and as my colleague Steve Hawley, I'm sure will say, you know, we in Albany over the last several years, I've been there for 4 years, we're always talking about some aspect of gaming in New York. There's some bill or some issue about gaming there's always changes happening in the gaming industry, and that affects whether it's the casinos, the state-run casinos, the tribal casinos. It affects places like Batavia Downs, as well as the Finger Lakes and a host of others. And it always seems like there's something going on, and we're trying to continue to make these places viable, competitive. One thing I think you're seeing here at OTB is they are absolutely doing things at their own level to make themselves competitive and continue to be viable in an ever-changing landscape. And that's a credit to the leadership, it's a credit to the board, that they are identifying ways to continue to make Batavia Downs viable, to continue to make Batavia Downs competitive and stay ahead of the curve. And why that's so important, like my colleague said, is what separates Batavia Downs from, let's say, a casino, is that the money here, the part of the revenues, goes back into communities like Niagara County, like Genesee County, like Orleans County, Monroe County, as well as several others. That directly offsets property tax increases. So not only is it great economically here in Batavia, here in Genesee County, but there is a much broader impact when you talk about services and talk about keeping property taxes down in those host communities and in those benefiting communities. So the more activity you see here, the more revenue coming in here, the better it is really for all of Western New York. So again, kudos to the leadership team here. I want to thank my colleague, Mike Ranzenhofer, as well as the next person you're going to hear from, Steve Hawley. They do a great job representing Batavia Downs. I can tell you, when we are having those debates and those discussions in Albany, at least on the Senate side, I firsthand knowledge that Senator Ranzenhofer gets up there all the time and makes a point to make sure that we're doing right by Batavia Downs, not just because he represents it, but because he understands that broader impact. And as far as the Hall of Famer behind me, really cool for me. When I was a kid, I had a poster of Thurman Thomas on my bedroom wall. So for me to be here, it was, you know, it was the Thurminator, and he was coming busting through, you know, and so to be here for me as a kid who used to root him on and look up to him, it's always very cool and great to see him still supporting Western New York, albeit in a different way. So great to be here. God bless you, and thanks for having me.
Now we're going to hear from our hometown hero, Steve Hawley, who's a great friend here to Batavia Downs. And we talked about it before. He's so close he walked over here this morning from his home. So great to have you here, Steve. Thank you.
Yes, it took me 1 minute and 8 seconds to get here. And I will tell everyone I've been a long-time admirer of Thurman Thomas, but I was not a kid when he was playing. I was a little older than a kid. It's great to have him here and great to have him still part of Western New York, contributing to our way of life and supporting what we do here. Batavia Downs is the oldest flat track in America. A lot of people don't know that, but I preach that as I travel around the state. It's a long time. 1940, I believe, is when it was opened by the Provenzano family. And it's great to see not only the facility still here, but expanding and becoming part of the new century. With the expansion of the restaurant as well as 34 Rush, Thurman will meet everyone out there to smoke a cigar with you. It's a vital part of our economy, and as both Senator Ort and Senator Ranzenhofer have indicated, there's not a day literally that goes by without us talking about the importance of racing and sports betting in the state of New York. So congratulations on this great success. I look forward to the actual opening of these facilities. And Henry, you're doing a great job. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much. And on behalf of our board of directors, on behalf of our officers and our 500 employees out here at Batavia Downs, we'd like to thank you for coming out here today.